Hi, I'm Nikki Munitz, and this is my podcast, Come to Mind. I'm really excited about my guest tonight. He's a really young, dynamic, driven individual that I've only met recently, but have been really inspired by, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about him today. His name is Jake Axelrod, and go for it. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the podcast. So as Nikki said, we met only a few days ago, not a few weeks ago probably. I basically started a business called MetaLab about 5 years ago, but always been kind of driven to do my own thing, and kind of where we're at today with MetaLab is almost like a culmination of many years of just trying to, for lack of a better word, like hustle, from a young age.
So what is MetaLab?
So MetaLab started off just as almost like a consulting business. I'd say similar to what you do, but more on a health and exercise and nutrition aspect. And I kind of started MetaLab after leaving a business that I was previously in. Most people don't know that I actually was in the clothing industry before I was in the fitness industry. So I think it's more pertinent to start there, because that's what led me to MetaLab. So it was probably my early years of varsity. In high school, I never really came from a wealthy background or anything like that. Always brought up on pocket money, learned how to budget from a young age. If I wanted more money to spend on things, I had to make it myself. And literally the moment I left high school, I was like, okay, what can I do to create an income for myself? And my parents were big on me getting a degree, which was good, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have studied at university. But even whilst I was studying at university, I had to answer my parents. I was like, I need to be doing something else with my time. So whilst I was at varsity, I could really never find clothes that I liked in South Africa. So I thought, why not just see what clothing manufacturing is about? Let me see if I can get into that game. And more so just to create stuff that I want to wear. And if other people like it, I'll make it. So I actually had a partner who I was at school with. We weren't good friends at school, but we kind of crossed roads, and he wanted to also do something in clothing, and we decided to start this business. It was called Axco Clothing. And we first just started off literally, we had once a guy who was sewing clothes from Senegal. We would get patterns made with a pattern maker, and we released our first designs, and I don't know what happened or what we did, but it just took off. We had rappers buying our stuff, hip hop, and it just took off in that community. And we built like a really cool niche clothing brand, streetwear. And being my first business, it wasn't structured 100% properly, and it wasn't really where I wanted to be at the time. And I'd been in that business for about a year, and we really built it up together. And I went overseas to Italy on a trip, and whilst I was there, I had this revelation. I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. And I had a future with my partner. My passion was always health and fitness. I was studying nutrition at the time at university. I'd done my personal training diploma. I really just wanted to give that up completely and just start something that I was enjoying at that time. And that's how MetaLab started. It was beginning of 2016, and I was in a unique position because I was one of very few guys in the industry who had knowledge in nutrition and exercise. Most were either just personal trainers, then you had to see a nutritionist or a dietitian. And I could bring those expertise together. And I wanted a way to differentiate it as well. And I literally started off kind of coming into the market with that offering, where you can come to one person and get both. You don't have to deal with a trainer and a nutritionist, or a trainer who's giving you nutrition advice doesn't know what they're talking about. And I literally started driving to people's homes. That's how I started. Going to their house, consulting with them, teaching them how to eat, how to train, giving them workouts to at the gym. And my first 4 clients I didn't charge. It was absolutely free, just to build up my rapport, my reputation. And all I asked of them was, if you feel I've done a good job, please tell your friends. That was my marketing at the time. And I went from 4 free clients to a book of 60 clients, paying clients, in a matter of 4 to 6 months, just because of the unique offering I had. And then we kind of were one of the first places to offer the digital training on a mobile app. And we offered training and nutrition, so people could get custom programming, follow it on an app, but still do it at the gym and not have to kind of see a trainer. It cost less, but you were getting more. And that was the model. And it's kind of grown from there now into what it is now, where we've got premium supplements. We're opening our first gym, and yeah, it's just been like almost like a snowball effect.
That's that in a nutshell is like an entrepreneur's inspiration. I'd love to hear more about how the supplements came in, and then I want to talk more about this venture that you're involved with at the moment.
Yeah. So yeah, on the side of the supplements, I probably spent about a better part of 3 years building up my actual coaching business where I was actually working one-on-one with people. And that allowed me to kind of get a nice overview of the industry in South Africa and internationally. And I started bringing a lot of international kind of perspective and traits to my clients on how I was operating my business in the fitness industry. Yeah? And I started realizing that when my clients asked me about supplementation, I knew what they needed and what I would want to prescribe, if anything. There was just nothing here that I was comfortable saying, use it, like fully 100% I'm behind it. And I thought I knew about the supplement industry until I got into the supplement industry. Then your eyes are like open to like, what is going on? Like,
really
scary stuff. Yeah. Very few people doing good in the industry. And that's what really kind of led me to wanting to start the supplements. And on top of that, it was also a creative outlet for me. I remember having a conversation with my girlfriend, who's not my wife, but girlfriend at the time, saying, I'm doing like really well at the moment, but I'm just not feeling fulfilled because I don't have a creative outlet. Like, I'm just like kind of coaching people and there's no real creativity in that. And that's really why I wanted to create the product. Like, I had these crazy ideas in mind and I just wanted to hold it in my hands. And supplements was just the rite of passage because I was in that industry. I saw a gap and need for like a premium kind of more lifestyle brand. And that's what kind of was my first step into starting the process. What a lot of people don't know is I didn't start with MetaLab supplements. I started with another brand called Boost supplements. And that was more to kind of iron out kinks and learn the industry, how to manufacture without investing a ton of money. Because it's obviously quite a high risk industry, very competitive. And I think I took about 60,000 rand at the time, this was about 3 years ago. And just formulated a few basic products, didn't put a ton of effort into design or packaging, and launched that. And literally just learned. I knew I was going to write that 60,000 off as well.
School fees, absolutely.
And it really played to my advantage because it led me to meet a lot of great people in the industry. It forced me to like push my boundaries as well, take risks. And I met one of my mentors, Alan Angel, who was the founder of Evox Sports Nutrition, and he really helped mold and shape me to then push and start MetaLab, which is now our current kind of supplement line, which is very premium. We formulate everything in-house. We source all our raw materials from selected suppliers, and it's really high quality stuff that's not only effective and works and you can trust. We're really pushing the boundary in terms of packaging, flavors, how we market the products, who we market them to, and creating a different kind of culture around fitness and supplements in the South African kind of market space.
So your stuff isn't available at like Dis-Chem or Clicks. It's exclusive. They need to kind of order it direct. I like that.
And I mean, our MetaLab subs range, it's actually not even a year old. We turned 1 year on the supplement side, 4th of March. Yeah. It's never been our main priority to kind of get into big retail stores. And to be honest, like, I honestly started it to just like for a creative outlet for myself. Same with the clothing. Like, if other people like it, great. If they don't, I'll just have like supplements stocked up in my house.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly. And that's always been the goal,
Sure.
It just as like led into this. And then the gym you asked about as well.
Yeah. I want to for those of you who can't just imagine this for a second. We're sitting near St. David's School, overlooking this most incredible view. And really, you would actually need to see it to get the full experience. But I really want Jake to explain more how this came about.
So I mean, I'm a big believer in energy, and what you kind of put out into the universe is almost what you kind of get. And I always knew I wanted to have my own gym. I love training since a young age, always been into sports. It's always been something that I've almost like wanted for myself, whether it was a home gym or what it is now. And it was about 2 years ago when my personal client base was really growing. And I almost saw the need to have a nice private space to train them. And I started putting that energy out there, actually looking for a space to potentially open a gym about 2 years ago. And I viewed a lot of different spaces, spoke to a lot of different people, and just couldn't find anything that was viable from a financial perspective and a location perspective. And yeah, the energy that I put out kind of led us to this property where we are now. We were chatting off camera before this, saying my father-in-law's in property, and we almost stumbled upon this location because him being in property, we live quite close to this development, so you must never look over what's in your backyard. And he said, let's go look at this development. And I just thought this is like the best location, and kind of just proposed to them that I want to open a gym. Are you guys opening a gym? And we kind of just got into talks and negotiations from there. And it took about 10 months of negotiating back and forth. And yeah, we finally got approval to set up our gym here. And
that's not just a gym. I mean, like that's a high-end, top of the range. Anything that you can possibly think of, you're going to find in that gym.
Yeah, I've always been someone who if you're doing it, do it 110%, and I'm never satisfied. So I still think it can be better. We actually ordered more equipment today. But yeah, it's just, as I said, like a combination of like things that I want to do because I want to do them, and if other people think it's cool and like and want to be a part of it, brilliant. I'll bring it in and make sure it's the best experience. Like, that's always been my kind of thought process.
I mean, I so get that like authentic, because it works for me. I believe in it, and I'm going to like share that with you. I can't sell something to someone that I don't believe in. It has to come from an authentic place. I so get that.
I think that was a big thing with the clothing business I was in, is it was so focused on like how are we going to increase sales and like what sales avenues can we like exploit and this and that, and obviously you need sales in a business, you need to grow, you need the income, but I never wanted that to be the only focus. I wanted the focus to be, am I creating something that I actually will use myself? Can I see myself enjoying this process? And then just kind of making sure the business behind that works. But I've never been one to focus on like sales first, product service first, and then how can we get the right people to use it and enjoy it.
So it's not just a gym.
No.
So what is it?
So funny enough, the gym actually wasn't going to be a gym for people to use at all, to be honest. I wanted the gym more as a marketing platform for our products and my own clients under MedLab. And reason being is because when we started the supplement business, obviously as a brand, you need to be constantly creating content and marketing materials. It was always such a nightmare to, especially in COVID as well, to like find new locations, and then the gym says you can't use it because there's their clients training there. And I was also like stuff that I just like one night in the gym. Like I wasn't actually going to commercialize it at all. And yeah, my father-in-law was honestly like, it's stupid not to. So I got it right into it. But I think it's great because then obviously I got to meet you, Jolene, and now we can create a really awesome space here. And that's what we're trying to achieve. We want to create like a really awesome ecosystem where it's not just a gym. You kind of join an authentic community where all the practitioners like yourself kind of all working to the same end goal with their clients, with their patients, and we can all bounce off each other. Create the ecosystem for the lucky few people who are able to use this facility and just get the best service, the best environment. And it's literally like a location, homework and home for them. And that's what I want to create. So I've been loving this building. It's amazing. The gym's great. It's convenient. The location, and I just want other people to experience that with you, with me, with the bio, with the GP, and just form that awesome kind of.
Well, I mean, for me, I'm always looking for those like-minded individuals too that understand you can't treat just one problem and ignore all the rest. And as a human being, we're multifaceted and we have different areas of our life that all need work. I can't just deal with my weight issues and not deal with the mental health aspect behind it, and I can't change habits of how I eat and how I train and without dealing with how I think about myself. So everything is absolutely connected, and to be able to be in a place where we all understand that and we can work to help people really change their lives. I mean, for me, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It was like super exciting to hear about this venture of yours.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing, like making people realize that everyone needs help in some aspect of their life. There's no reason to be ashamed of needing help, whether it's to lose weight, to improve your mental performance, or struggling with something personal, business advice, whatever it is. I feel anyone can use help. We never know it all, no matter what, whether you're an expert in performance consultancy, I'm an expert in nutritional. We never know it all.
No.
I think it's the same with everyone. If we can have a space for people who can come and get kind of help on different aspects of each kind of playing field that all ties together.
100%. 100%. So, I mean, like you mentioned, this is quite an exclusive space. How would people get access to this?
So obviously, you being a practitioner within the space, you can build your clientele as far and wide as you want. It's more so in terms of the gym. We want to keep that space quite exclusive and very performance focused. We want people to come to the gym who are there to make progress, see results, and train with an expert. Whether they're training with Jolene, getting the expertise from a bio and a trainer's perspective, or they're training with me. We want to keep it niche so that the people we are working with are getting the best. We don't want it just to be a general run-of-the-mill gym where it's going to be full in peak hours and you can't get on a machine. People walk in there, it's focused, they know what they're trying to achieve, and they know they're working with the best.
And it's going to be quite a challenge to get people to train when they've got that view to
Yeah,
distract them.
exactly.
You need to really stay focused, you know.
Yeah.
So who's your ideal client?
So my ideal client or Meta's
Both.
So my ideal client has changed over the years. I think starting out, anyone in the health and fitness space doesn't have an ideal client. You just kind of taking on anyone who's going to build a business. But over the years, definitely learn who creates you and gets on your nerves and who you enjoy working with. For me, I don't have a gender preference. I like working with males and females. I think for me, the biggest aspect is level of commitment. And I'm a good judge of character. And I think after my first consultation, if I feel that the person is going to lack commitment, it's not my ideal client. And you don't have to be psycho about it. I'm not. I live a very balanced lifestyle. I'm extremely busy and I practice what I preach. I just want clients who are going to kind of give me what I give them, because I'm going to give them 100%. And that's literally what I ask. And if I sense that I'm not going to get that from them, they're not my ideal client.
You still keep them?
I won't now. In the past, I would have, because I wasn't full and I was almost chasing the income bit. Whereas now I've realized that I'd rather not have a pain in the ass client than the income. And I've started to weed out the.
Absolutely. And I think coming from that place, that empowered place of I want a client, I get to choose the client. It's not just about the client choosing me. And even in that, it's that exclusivity. That if you're here to do the work. It's not just here to pay me my money and then I sit here. Because if you're like me, I want to see the results. I don't want to sit every week and have to have the same conversation because we're not really moving forward. I suppose, for me, it's also about acknowledging maybe there's a reason why the client is stuck. But sure, it's super challenging, especially if you already have quite a busy practice.
But you see, that's where the whole kind of ecosystem with you also ties in. Whereas if I feel that there's someone I really want to work with, but I feel they might lack commitment, you may be able to help them with that, and they might then achieve what they thought they could never achieve. And that's what I really want to build here. Once we officially open, and it's taken some time, but that's really my thought process. That's
okay. We're learning to exercise patience here, not just our bodies.
Exactly.
And good stuff takes time. So. And I get that. Can people make an appointment with you? How does it work? How do they get your supplements? How can they possibly have access to the gym? How does it all work?
So in terms of getting access to me, if they wanted to work under me as a client, because I've got so much going on at the moment, I've actually capped my client base, keep it quite tight knit, and it's actually built itself off word of mouth. And when a spot does open, there's usually someone waiting for it. So I don't actually market myself too much. I spent 3 years building that up, and now my focus has shifted a little bit. But once the gym officially opens, we will have the official website, and people will be able to book if there's availability with me, and also other practitioners as well. So in terms of working with me, chances are slim as the waiting list.
You hear that, guys? That's how exclusive this is.
In terms of the gym itself, as I said, I want to prioritize our practitioners. So the other trainers, the buyers, their clientele come first. So I want to build up the exclusivity around our practitioners' current client base. And based on how many people get kind of integrated into the gym, we will probably keep the gym in terms of general public outside of this building and the NetLab practice to 40 members, like really exclusive.
Guys, you might want to put your names down on the waiting list right about now.
Yeah, so that's like the level we go.
Sure.
We might change it as we go, but starting out, we want to keep it really exclusive. It's just, makes everyone who does get the chance to be part of it feel special.
100%, and that they are getting that 100%.
Exactly.
And what's the plan for like this office, and also in terms of the building, because it's almost like a one-stop shop all over in this building. So what is the vision?
Yeah, so I mean, they've confused me a bit as well in terms of what's going on. But the gym, obviously the residents, it's quite an exclusive development. The apartments are really cheap. So they will get free access to the gym. The office space, it's a limited access. We're probably going to give 5 access cards per 100 square meters of commercial office space. So that's how it's going to work in that respect. I want to, as I said, keep it as exclusive as possible. So people in the building will obviously benefit from that. And then any outsiders we bring in. The whole development here is mixed use. So there's a nice blend of apartments, lifestyle, and commercial. I think we'll all tie in. Obviously, COVID threw a bit of a spanner into the works. I'm sure if it wasn't COVID, that whole retail space on the ground floor would have been done by now. Which, when it's done, will be great.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. I'm sure your kind of clientele who have come are like enjoying the space.
Every single one of my clients first walks up to the window, kind of takes in a view, and then like we can start the session. Yeah. It's like the standard practice.
The scale there by the window. So I said, if your reading sucks, at least there's a good
I get that.
And I mean, on the supplement side, that's more of, I would say, a commercial outlet for the business where it's not super exclusive. We are looking at certain retail expansion this year, and we're actually setting up retail in the UK as well this year, which is pretty cool.
That is very cool.
I think that's going to be the easiest way for most of the general public to interact with the brand is through our products.
You also mentioned an app. So could
Yes.
people get access to your training through this app, and tell us a bit more about that?
Yes and no. So I actually use the app for all of my personal clientele. And then obviously the trainers coming into the space are going to have access to use that app as well. Basically, we use the app to help scale the coaching side of things a little bit, where we can give NetLab programming to someone that they can implement obviously at the gym on their own, and same with nutrition. In terms of scaling that, it's not, I would say, on my top list of priorities at the moment. I sell Jake NetLab programs. I'd rather know that the person I'm working with is getting 100%.
Sure.
And an app, I don't feel there's a way to give someone 100%. So the answer to that right now is probably no. We're not going to sell programs to the masses, but that might change in the future.
So the theme of this is exclusivity.
Yeah, it is.
I like it. And like talking about the app and talking about the gym and COVID, has there been a shift in terms of clients moving online and now wanting to do face-to-face? What's happening with that?
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting time for the fitness industry as a whole in all aspects, whether it's the supplements, the training. Obviously, when COVID hit, there was a frenzy, the gyms closing and everyone trying to kind of like digitize their business. And actually, it showed a lot of trainers that their kind of methods have been archaic for years. COVID has forced their hand now. A lot of them were left flat-footed, not knowing what the hell to do. I'll be honest with you, it didn't affect my business whatsoever in terms of the coaching. All we did was shift the programming to at home. I had some connections with equipment suppliers because of our gym, and I could get them deals, and it was an easy shift. I think people are frustrated now with training online. It's just not the same, really, isn't it? There's nothing like going to a gym, training, having that feeling afterwards. And I've seen it, people frustrated. They want to get back to the gym and train properly, be with their trainers. They're sick of doing Zoom classes. And,
100%.
it's here to stay, and it's great, but I don't think it's going to be like where the fitness industry is going.
Sure. I mean, we were chatting earlier as well around the fact that it's a hybrid situation now, and people want to be able to kind of like swap and change in between. But I think seeing a venue like this and seeing what's going to be available here, people are definitely going to want to kind of check in and see like for themselves and to be able to utilize the facilities. I am super excited to kind of see how this all comes together, and to like your energy and your vision is like ties in so well with mine. And yeah, I'm like super excited, and thank you so much for being here today. And I liked really getting to know you better.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have a lot more chats off camera as well.
Absolutely.
We'll continue. And yeah, I look forward to having you in the space. Thank you for joining, and I think you bring a really awesome, unique perspective to what we can offer, and just your energy and approach to how you work is brilliant as well. You're forward thinking, and that's what I'm all about as well. So look forward to actually working with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jake.
Yeah.